Time to tag you. I'm going to tag you. Time to tag you. Time to tag you. Another episode of Tag Time. It's time to tag you. Another episode of Tag Time. Today, the time is going to show you that how important moments we capture with so brilliant and bright people who are the light and vision to see for those who are upcoming towards the life which they want to achieve. I'm talking about a very empowered woman who is the reason for so many people around to see that how you dream about things and you make them happen. One and only Raj Girn. Welcome to my show.
Thank you so much. What a lovely, lovely introduction, and I'm so happy to be back on your show.
Thank you very much. Raj Girn, as always, some of our viewers might not know about that how your journey started and ended up where it ended up. So we will have we want to share a little bit of your story by yourself. Please.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, where would you like me to begin? So marriage brought me to Canada. And about 8 years into the marriage, directions changed, and I was a single mom with a 3-year-old child, and I kind of wanted to figure out what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I felt that I'd been a mother, and I was happy and blessed in that role. Been a daughter, sister, friend, and I'd never really been me. So I found that I just kind of hobbled around, tried a few different things, and then stumbled across a media personality who was running Rogers TV at that time, Jake Deere. And he said, Raj, you've got a great persona. I love your voice. Why don't you just come and, work with me at Rogers Television? So I thought, I've got nothing else, that, has my passion. And there's nothing out there that, I truly felt that, I could contribute to, until I kind of came across this medium of media. And I realized that, a lot of the places, a lot of the different media that I was doing reporting in, they would always send me to those jobs to cover kind of South Asian cultural stories. But when I brought the story back, they wanted to tell the story their way. So that for me was a problem. And the problem was because I didn't feel they truly understood the essence of our culture as a community, both back home, whatever that may mean to us, and right here, in the society that we resided in. So in my infinite wisdom or not, I decided to just start my own media company. I felt that I needed to create a platform that allowed us to be able to voice and speak and share and celebrate and discuss and educate each other on ways in which we truly did live. And that's why, the company ended up being called Anokhi, which means unique or different, because I was looking for a unique, different platform that I didn't feel at that time, going back when I founded the company in 2002, that there really was a platform that talked about who we were in a very authentic, real manner. Now, there's many, companies out there like Tag TV, of course, where we truly celebrate the essence of who we are as a community from back home as well as here in Canada. But back then, there really wasn't that kind of identity. So that really was kind of where my journey began. And as I started to discover the stories of people like yourself and many other people, I figured out the identity of who I was, and I became the woman that I truly wanted to be. And who is that woman? A woman that really commands her own direction in life without compromising her belief in her culture and without interfering with what it was that society was talking about or lending us in terms of us being able to establish the kind of identity that we wanted to truly live. I became the individual, independent woman that I wanted to be, and the platform of Anokhi is truly about that mandate.
So let's talk about Anokhi a little bit in detail, that how that Anokhi itself is having a journey to reach where it is in 2017. But let's talk about the journey of Anokhi.
Well, the journey has actually been, full of trials and tribulations, many challenges along the way. And the reason is that I had kind of a twofold challenge that, you know, has been kind of along the journey, more so in the formative years of the company. And that was, one was, you know, the community itself, you know, that we serve, didn't quite understand what it was that we were trying to create the platform for. Because at that time, most of the media was either completely mainstream, so it didn't have any cultural elements in it, or it was completely cultural and indicative culturally to all of the various different facets of culture that make up, you know, Canadian society. There wasn't something that took the culture and talked about it from a, you know, a mainstream, a national and international perspective at that time. That was truly the biggest challenge, is to, you know, identify what was this media platform that we were creating, because it wasn't mainstream and it wasn't cultural. It was a combination of both. So once people understood that, and you know, people started to come out of the various different, you know, industries, and we started to discover that there was commonality between all of us, that although of course, you know, we reside from our cultural historical heritage, and that's very important as part of who we are as an identity, there also was this kind of other emerging, you know, identity about who we are outside of that cultural element. And, you know, who are we as a Canadian, you know, who are we as a woman, right, as a mother, as a working mother, right? All of those things started to kind of factor in, and they started to become this discussion, this dialogue, you know, about talking about these kinds of, you know, journeys that we've had. Those journeys became the stories that became the fabric and the foundation of Anokhi Media.
So the gala.
Yes.
Gala is going to be, I would let you explain to the audience that what are the, and what should we expect, what is going to be there, and how do you see it should be, and how it is going to be?
Well, I am really excited about this year. Many reasons. And first of all, it is our 14th year as Anokhi Media. We do the gala in celebration of turning another year of telling the stories of our community regionally, nationally, and internationally. And this actually is a special year for us because it's the 10th year of the gala. It's also the year that we've had the most record-breaking amount of Canadian South Asian nominations for the Anokhi list, which is a coffee table book that we produce and we actually launched during the gala. So the coffee table book, this is our 3rd edition. I'm really excited that everybody that's actually going to be at the award show this year is going to be given that as our gift, as our thank you for supporting us throughout our journey, not just across the year, but throughout the entire trajectory of the 14 years that we've been around. The awards gala is taking place on Tuesday, November the 28th at the Liberty Grand Entertainment Complex in Toronto. Tickets are still available. There's 3 different levels of tickets that we have. The VVIP are sold out. The VIP are also sold out, but we also have a 3rd level, which is our general ticketing, which also gives you all aspects of the evening. The only difference between the ticketing there and the other levels is literally where you're seated. It's going to basically be 6 o'clock where the doors open. There's going to be a cocktail reception where you'll see 29 incredible personalities from our community, from Canada, from across the world, that will be walking the red carpet. I'm very excited, you know, about celebrating and showcasing the success of our community. That will then go into a 2.5-hour awards show, which is theatre-style seating. We're going to be giving awards across 3 different levels of success, across 5 different pillars of industry. And then, of course, we have great performances. We have a one-of-a-kind fashion show from Pakistan's very own #1 bridal celebrity fashion designer Ali Zishan, who's doing his Canadian fashion show premiere and trunk show at our awards show. So truly, this is going to be, I think, probably the best event we've ever done. We have great personalities also that are coming in. We have Monica Diol, you probably remember from back in the day, was the representative on the mainstream, Canadian landscape for our community. So I'm really happy that, she is going to be honoring our stage. We also have the renowned author and speaker, Mr. Robin Sharma, who is coming out to the awards show. Very, very happy that he'll be participating. And we've got incredible performances from UK's Rackstar to Montreal's Deep Jandu to Toronto's Ravina and Millie Soch. And it's just really, I'm so excited about this event. I know you come out every single year. I'm looking forward to celebrating with you and with our incredible community here in Canada.
I would like you to, if you don't mind, to give any number specific, or should people go on website?
It's so easy. All they need to do if they'd like to grab some tickets is go to anokhiawards.com. So that's ANOKHI awards.com. At the top, you'll see a tab that says tickets. Click on it and it will tell you exactly how you can purchase right there online within moments.
Okay. So any special things for the guests? As I have seen your events, that they are full of life and full of entertainment, and you feel like it's a worth going out evening, well spent evening. So anything particular you're going to do besides awards? Any draws or anything, or something for the public also?
Yeah, I mean, so as I mentioned, there's going to be a first time trunk show of this particular designer who has a huge fan following in Canada. The only place that you can actually purchase his clothes is going to be at the award show, because being that he's from Canada, this is his exclusive trunk show as well as fashion show. As I mentioned, every single person that is there, there's going to be food stations there. There's going to be some incredible activations. You get mix and mingle with these various different awardees, performers, the designer himself, and of course, as a thank you for attending and being a part of this. By the way, this huge mix and mingle where we get to kind of, network and meet other like-minded personalities from across the world is the third edition of our coffee table book, which everybody gets to take home with them. So I'm really, really excited about it. This truly is a celebration for our community, about our community, with our community.
So when we see the journey, as we see, it's right now, Canada is the place of culture. I would say that bombardment, and with that we have a lot of competition and mentorship. So what's your take on that?
I think it's a good thing. I think that, I know from my perspective, when we first came out 14 years ago, we were kind of like a lone wolf in the jungle. I would have loved at that time, as is the case today, to be able to have support from fellow colleagues, to be able to have support from other like-minded media companies and organizations and associations, to be able to collectively elevate all of our respective mandates. I feel that's really important. I feel that when I look at the different cultures out there across North America that have truly been successful, for example, the African American community, the Irish community, the Italian community, the Jewish community, and now the Hispanic community, what is the common denominator between all of them? They support each other. They have created a revolution all by themselves because they support each other's initiatives. That's what's important to me. In order for our vibrant, dynamic, savvy community to truly, own its own success, I think we need to band together and we need to celebrate each other's success. So to me, bring it on. There should be more, competition, healthy competition. There should be more festivals and organizations and support systems for us all to celebrate each other in many, many different ways. Without that, how do we have mentorship, really?
So what do you see the change in the contributors from the day you started to now from our community?
Really, really interesting, because, back in the day, the fight was, why would you want to go into non-traditional industries like media and fashion and, performing arts, etc. It was really, not something that was considered a serious career. You and I both know this, right? And the reason I understand, it's really our parents, what they wanted is for us to have a secure career so that we could take care of ourselves, having themselves come from abroad. So there was, that whole need for security. now with the next generation and the generation after that, the security has been built. The foundation for our community has been built, right? They have the freedom and the, liberation to have choices, I believe, that weren't really available to people like you and I when we were growing up, right? Because, our parents taught us, security, get married, all of this kind of stuff. Today, society and culture, the younger generation, the millennials, the Gen X generation, they're not looking at who they're going to marry, or, going into traditional career forms because, their foundation base for that thought process is security. They're looking for happiness. They're looking for fulfillment. They're looking to do things that make them happy. These are things that weren't on the radar when you and I were growing up, when we were going through the school system, when we were, going into the workforce. That's the fundamental difference. This is why you have people, so many more people going into the performing arts, becoming authors, going into a lot of non-traditional elements. You've got fashion designers coming from everywhere now that were never around. So much media in the mainstream across every single of the big corporations. You see our faces the way that you never used to see before. So I feel that the foundation that our generation, our parents' generation, actually created has allowed for this kind of emergence of choice for the younger generation, and I think it's a brilliant thing. I feel that it's going to allow our community to truly excel to that next level that I feel we deserve, because we have the skill set, we have the passion, and we have the talent to be able to be a force to be reckoned with as a cultural community.
So you must have a lot of challenges because you were the women and you had the profession you had picked was media. So the moment where you felt that this is well decided path I picked, any kind of event or any kind of thing which reminds you that, oh, at that time I said, oh, I did the right decision to go and choose that path, and the moment where you felt, oh my God, why did I choose that? How would you take on?
It's really interesting because my star sign is Pisces. So if anybody knows anything remotely about, that particular sign, it's two fishes in opposite directions, right? So on one side, you're always, questioning. On the other side, you're always moving. So there's that motion that's constantly happening, and it's like a tug of war within your psyche, telling you every time you make a decision, there's almost kind of like that other voice questioning the decision. I feel that for me has served me well. And it served me well because it's allowed me to be able to step outside of the bias of my passion to see if there truly is a viable business opportunity in what it is that, I'm trying to accomplish, in addition to the passion element of why I do what I do, which is to truly allow there to be a platform where our community can stand up and voice who they need to be. Right? Without there being any kind of bias. So that's the passion element for me, is to tell those stories, right? The business side of it, so that's kind of the other fish in the other direction, that for me, has been kind of the questioning voice, and media having gone in the last 10 years through massive transitions in terms of, where it was valued in the traditional realm, broadcast, print, radio. Now, so much of what's available as content is free. How do you monetize that, right? How do you kind of pivot the company and the way in which the business is operated, right, in light of the knowledge that, people can get what you're offering without having to pay for it. So I know, as a media company yourself, I know, many different, executives and thought leaders within the realm of the communication industry. Technology has truly changed the landscape for us and actually allowed us, especially at Anokhi, to be able to pivot. So, being a predominantly print and event company, initially speaking, now we do a series of events. We have a lifestyle series that we do every quarter. We've got the awards show, of course, that that we do. The only print entity we have is the coffee table book, because in my mind, when we are celebrating and holding in time, success of our community, I feel that we need to be able to hold that, right? We need to, we need to be able to savor that, right, and be able to go back to that moment in time when we celebrated our community. But then, in addition to that, our growth as a company, our pivot as Anokhi Media has gone very much into kind of the digital and the content marketing realm. So a lot of what we do, with our clients is to service that element of our business. So I feel, I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I feel that kind of like my final statement on this is I feel that, any company out there, any entrepreneur, any enterprise out there that remains stagnant is going to have a very difficult, job of being able to keep their company relevant to, their client. Our goal at Anokhi has been to constantly, stay tapped into the community to understand what is it that they want, how do they want it, why do they want it, and how can we participate in being able to accomplish providing that to them. Because of that, we've constantly gone through earth-shattering changes at the company to be able to stay kind of, relevant to our community. When you're relevant to the community, you're relevant to your advertisers, right?
I would say that each moment is a challenge and each moment is an achievement. So that's how in this kind of work we keep on moving. So coming back, how would you like to address those who are watching you, who are new, who want to do something, or what would you like to address to them?
I would say that be absolutely sure that you have passion in whatever it is that you want to apply your energy to, number one. Number two, make sure you have the education to be able to know what you're doing and to be able to make intelligent decisions at any given moment throughout the journey of your profession. Number three, make sure you have the resources to support what it is that you're looking to accomplish. Number four, surround yourself, such a cliche, but it really is true, it holds true. Surround yourself with people that can fulfill every aspect of what you're looking to accomplish far better than you can. Number five, listen to them and trust that what you are trying to accomplish, that you've made the right decisions in the people that you've put at the helm of accomplishing it, and give them the recognition that they deserve, for the hard work that they do, because collectively, success is brought, in the forefront if we acknowledge all of what is required to make success a true reality.
Thank you very much for being with us today. I hope that our viewers enjoyed your discussion and they must have learned something out of it. And we will be in touch, and we will keep on having different kind of promotions for what you are doing, because I feel like you're doing a tremendous job. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me, and I love coming to sit and chat with you. I love Tag TV.
Thank you very much. Viewers, when we talk about evolution, we talk about realities around us which are very moving and which are flowing like water. We have to change, we have challenges all the time, but people like Raj Girn and so many other women who are contributing and bringing out the problems which we face while we are growing. So we should not be afraid of the challenges. We should focus on what we are going to achieve. After all, that everybody goes through a process, but to make that process successful needs a successful, intelligent team, which is led by the team leader. So please do come see what she has for the gala for Anokhi 2017. It's a worth going event. You will really feel like you have really well spent your time. With these words, thank you very much for watching Tag TV with me today.
#1 multicultural channel. This is Tag TV.